go ahead and start our playlist with All I Need. The song that you see first called Sucker is not for you guys. That's for outside because we're going to warm up with some core when I go outside. All right, so go ahead and start your playlist. We're going to begin on the belly, palms like a pillow, forehead on your hands, legs stretched out. So go ahead and find that space. I'm going to give myself some more space. So let your forehead, again, just lay on your mat, make a pillow with your palms, and just go ahead and kind of move back and forth with your belly. And let your right leg stretch up and lengthen it down long on the mat. And then let your left leg stretch up. Lengthen it down long on your mat. And again, just kind of move side to side here. Then go ahead and slowly press the tops of the feet down so the kneecaps lift off your mat. And then lift your head up just about an inch. So just starting to wake up the upper back, the mid back. I want you to aim your tailbone towards your heels. And again, we're pressing the feet so strongly that the kneecaps are lifting off the ground. Sort of like you feel in an upward facing dog. My headphones are having a problem too. We're just having some issues this morning. All right. So go ahead and keep that head up to the hands to the head. And then begin to float your feet. So again, I want the elbows away from the ground. The head is pressing to the forehead is pressing to the hands. And then lower down. And again, just wiggle your tailbone side to side. Give yourself a little slack out with those knees. And if anybody needs to get a hold of me, call my house phone, Gainer, not my cell phone. All right, lift up your right leg and dial that back again. Maybe a little more length in your back. Same thing with the left. And then starting with the feet, feel the kneecaps lift off your mat. Feel the glutes turn on. And then slowly lift the head, heart, and chest up. So it can be still lower. When we're lower, we're working the back stabilizers. If you want to lift up a little higher, you're going to feel the upper back and mid back muscles engage a bit. So you just decide. And then again, one or both feet float low or maybe now a little higher. Elbows draw away towards your ceiling. Forehead pressing to the hands, hands to the forehead. You're going to feel your core start to work, your back start to work. Exhale, lower down. And then one more time again, just give yourself a little bit of a nice wiggle back and forth, like you're just this happy little puppy wagging your tail. And then stretch the left foot back, the right foot back, and then same thing. Start with the feet, grip the insteps to your mat, kneecaps off the mat, head, heart, chest lift up low, medium, or perhaps a little higher. Same thing with your legs. And you can have a choice to keep your head to your hands or go ahead and move your arms into goal pose. And then again, feeling now more of the whole back. One more breath here. Feel across your heart, your collarbones, the crown of your head, soften your throat. Tuck the toes under here, hands under shoulders, and press back to child's pose with your thighs parallel to each other. So let your forehead find your mat. Toes are tucked under. That's a really nice stretch for the plantar fascia. Especially as my friend Colleen told me, I don't know, 15 years ago in a class, when we start wearing different shoes, different boots, our feet need some love. So this is one of my favorite stretches. Come through hands and knees, keep your toes tucked, and then come all the way down. So we're just going to go back and forth like that. Inhale, stretch forward to lift up. Exhale. So just remember, I'm the guide. You are in charge of how you journey. So if I'm saying inhale and you're on an exhale, don't worry about that. All right, we're going to end up back on the belly. And then we're going to take a forearm plank here. So go ahead and have your hands flat to the ground. We're going to build a little heat as we just lift up to forearm plank. Remember not to dip your back. Lift your tailbone up so the whole spine is in one line, and that includes the back of your head. So you want to root back through those heels. The toes are still tucked under. Go ahead and take your right leg back about a 1/4 inch, and same thing with the left. And then re-engage tailbone towards your heels, hip bones towards your shoulders. We're going to hold here for 5 breaths. Notice if you're gripping with your teeth. We're going to just tuck one knee underneath you from this to come to our back. Then again, just starting with just a little core. We're going to start with the feet on the ground. Take your hands to your thighs and kind of scrub the skin towards the knees. And then hold the hands on the thighs. We're just going to extend the left leg, left arm. Come back to touching hand on thighs. Right arm, right leg, hands on thighs. If this is hard for you, then you can just take regular core with your hands behind your head, lifting and lowering. But if you can try the dead bug, try the dead bug. It's important to press the hand to the thigh, and that will turn on your deep core. You can feel for yourself when you don't kind of press with your hand, it doesn't turn on your belly as much. So the back of the head is to the mat, the area behind the heart is to the mat. Your tailbone is also on your mat. Got a little airflow underneath your lumbar spine. We'll just take 2 more each side. I don't want you to leave. 1 more. We won't do this the whole time. All right, go ahead and bring your feet down. Take your hands down by your mat and just hover your bum just an inch. And then lift your bum another inch. And then come to a bridge where you're comfortable. You can kind of sway this one side to side. Feel the belly stretch, chin off the chest. And then lower down. Take your right knee, hug it in. Take your left leg on your mat and just circle into this hip. So give yourself a chance to wake up this hip joint and then reverse the circle. We'll create a twist from here, right leg over the left. So really flex this left foot and turn your gaze to ensure that your right shoulder's down. At home, you can take your hands to the thigh, press the arm straight, or left hand to the front of this right shoulder, encouraging this shoulder to come down to your mat. All right, bend your left knee to match your right knee pile. Palms pressed together. Lift the chest up. Little tiny pulses here. Feel your right side oblique starting to wake up too. This bothers your neck. Hand behind your head. Keep your left one working. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to knee pile twist. Knees hug in. Keep your left one near you and then stretch that right leg long on the mat. And go ahead and make generous circles. So you should feel your QL, your quadratus muscle, right above your left glute. Getting a lot of love. Reverse that circle. And then we'll take this into a twist of our choice. So don't worry if your whole foot doesn't touch. Just try to get the big toe down. Again, you decide, right hand stretching the skin away or right hand anchoring this left shoulder to the ground. Should be breathing. Go ahead and bend your right knee next to your left knee. Hands together down by this left hip. Lift up, just start to pulse. You can always support yourself. Little hand behind the head action is fine. Right arm stay stretching. We just have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to knees hugging in. Stretch the legs up. Take the hands down low and just let that right leg hover. Lift the right leg up. Just one time, let the left leg hover. Lift it up. Come into a happy baby. Grab your hands above your ankle joints. So I know a lot of us can already grab our toes this morning, but give yourself a chance to hug onto these shins. We're going to do this standing. I want you to feel your forearm wrap next to your outer shins. And there's a little bit of a compression here, an isometric thing going on where you're pushing your forearms to your outer shins, but you're forcing your outer shins to your forearms. So there's a nice inner thigh stretch coming here. Maybe roll your feet around while we're in this stretch. And then grab your hands around the skin above the ankle joint, like you're pulling your yoga pants towards your knees. And then hug your knees in. Rock and roll here. We're just going to come to a seat. Wherever you're sitting, just reach the arms up. Goal post the arms. Twist to the right. Take the hands out and just come to a gentle twist here. So lift the heart, You can take the chin down, or it might feel nice to take your left ear to your left shoulder. And then take the chin down, turn your right ear to your right shoulder. Take those hands out wide, reach them up to the sky. Just go the other way. Twist here, palm next to your thigh, chin down, right ear, right shoulder. Lift up through your core, chin down, left ear, left shoulder. Reach those arms back out to the side, up to the sky. Go ahead and close your eyes, setting intention here. And then we're going to turn around and face back where we were, top of our space for tabletop position. So inhale, arch to lift up. Exhale, round, curl into your cat. You can do this with your insteps pressing down, or if you're having a little foot cramp, if your feet are cold, go ahead and tuck your toes under. So just a reminder, everything at your own pace, your own way. If you're way slower than I'm going or way faster, that's totally your call. We're going to make our way to downward facing dog. Crawl your hands about a handprint forward, tuck the toes, lift up slowly and start to pedal out. Take the dog for a walk. You can shrug and unshrug your shoulders as well. Lift the pivot and navel up. Next time your right knee bends, stay. Now really feel that heart melt towards this right side. Give your head a little shake now. Press your hands down and forward. You're going to take your right knee to tip towards your left foot. And you're going to flatten out your left foot like a warrior 1 foot. And you're going to lift your left arm up to the sky. So it's a different kind of twist that maybe we've done before. So the body is in down dog. So see if you kind of just shifted to plank. Move yourself hips up. Feel that stretch under the left side, across the top side. And then come on back, down dog. Bend your left knee. Take that left knee over to the right side. Peel your right foot down like a warrior 1 foot. And then once you lift your right hand up, don't get stuck in no man's land kind of towards plank. Move back and up with your hips to dog. Feel the outer edge of your right foot holding you here. And then come to the top of a push-up, plank pose. Put your right leg off the ground. Bend the knee at the joint. Take little tiny pulses here. Wake up your glute. If this is difficult, if you're dipping your back, if you're shrugging your shoulders, just put this left knee down. You have 4, 3, 2. Stretch the right leg, pause. Draw knee to nose. Backing up, bend the knee, stack the hip. Circle to the right. Circle to the left. Stretch that right leg up, step it between the hands, stay in runner's lunge. All right, start to dip this left knee down and lift your heart up. So it's a hip flexor stretch. We're going to go to long pyramid. First time here, move back and forth. Then we'll do this with breath. Inhale through runners, dip that left knee, don't let it touch. Exhale, long pyramid round the spine. So it's like cow pose here, and then cat pose here. 2 more, breathe. Last time, now let your left knee, shin, and foot find the ground and come on up to Anjaneyasana. Arms overhead. Palms together or shoulder width apart. Sometimes our shoulders are tight. So don't force yourself to grab your hands, but if you've got the space, go for it. Head the navel up, lift the heart higher. We're going to take the arms out, palms down. Like we're skimming the surface of water, we're just going to turn to the right. Come back to the center, turn open. One more time, center to the right, center, open. Come back to center, take the hands to clasp right thumb on top. Get a nice little tiny back bend here. Dig down through your right heel, scrub that forward, and take the thighs, scissor them towards each other. We're coming into leaning, humble, supported. Our left shin is down. You can physically lay your whole right side chest on your right thigh. Now keep everything here, tuck your left toes under, and come to a humble fold. One more breath. Let your hands frame your right foot.
Take yourself to one leg dog. Take yourself to downward facing dog. Okay, inhale, plank, knees, chest, chin, first time here. Or if you're ready for chaturanga, go for it. Cobra, low, medium, or high. Press back through hands and knees or plank. We need in downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, starting with that left knee bent. Go ahead and tip it to the right. Flatten out your right foot. Lift your right hand up. Lift your hips up and back. Feel that stretch. Switch sides. Bend your right. Tip it to the left. Flatten out the left foot and lift the left arm up to the sky. Come on back down. All right, shift to plank. Lift that left leg up. Bend the knee at the joint. Right leg straight or knee down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch it back. Hug knee to nose. Round the spine. Lift the leg back and up. Bend it back. Give it a circle to the left. Keep your shoulders squared. Circle to the right. Stretch it up. Step the foot between the hands. Stay in runners. Start an inhale. Dip the right knee towards your mat. And then exhale. First time, hold this side long pyramid. Shift back and forth. All right, 4 times at the pace of your breath. Inhale. Open that heart like cow. Exhale. You should feel like your left big toe is pressing down like an imaginary thumbtack to your mat. Big breath here. Inhale. Last time. Exhale. Inhale. Here we make our way to Anjaneyasana. Palms reach up somewhere overhead. Shoulder or hands together. Feel your left knee track open to the left. Feel that left hip bone slice back, right hip bone lift up. Big breath. Feel the side body. Feel your front body. All right, take those hands down. And again, like we're skimming the surface of water, pivot to the left. Back to the center, to the open side. Without letting your left knee follow you. That's important. Make it behave. Keep it by your baby toe. One more time. Stop in the center. Left thumb on top. So grab the interlace. Little tiny back bend or a bigger one. And then come to the support of the humble fold. Glue your right shin down. And again, reroot your left heel down. You can always stay here. If you can, follow me, right toes tuck, and then unwind to the leaning humble. Hands frame around your left foot. One leg dog. We meet back in downward facing dog. Shift to plank chaturanga or plank knees, chest, chin. Chaturanga Dandasana halfway down. Lift up to your upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog. I'm going to call your hands to the back of the mat. Take your feet as wide as the mat. And remember, I promised we'd be back in this child pose idea. Here we are. So I want you to take your hands like they're 2 bracelet cuffs above your ankle joint. So again, like you're going to stretch your yoga pants or like you're putting on wet socks. I want you to wrap your forearms on the outsides of those shins and then start to pull up as you take your body into this deep squat. Okay, so we're gripping with the hands. But notice if you're gripping with your face. I want you to feel those outer hands to the outer shins and thighs, but they're pressing against the hands. So you're going to feel your core turn on. Keep the hands wrapped like this cuff bracelet. Slowly straighten out the legs a little more left. So this is an exhale bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Take your right hand down for a big side stretch. So we're in a wide stance. Feel the arches lift away from your mat. And then take the other side. Inhale, grab a bowl pose. Lift the heart, feel the quads lift towards your hips. Feel your shins root towards your ankles. Reach up, hands to heart. Step your feet together, back of the mat. And then take your hands to Tadasana. Spin those thumbs behind you, lift the heart up, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold, shift the weight to the toes. Halfway lift, shift weight to heels. We're coming down again, fold. Bend into those knees, now we're narrow. Still take your hands outside the shins. Make those bracelet cuffs. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Wrap those forearms outside your legs. Hug in to the midline. One more round. Feel the hamstrings. Half chair, reach up all the way to stand. Right hand down, narrow side stretch. Option to keep the left foot here or float it up to the left. So find your focus, steady gaze. That will match your breath. It will steady your mind. Reach on up and switch sides. Option to stay or float the right foot out to the right. Soften your jaw. Move your breath in your whole body. Reach the arms up. This time bend the elbows. And you can either just, this is enough. You can already feel it in your belly, in your back, or lift up. So lengthen into a back bend. Reach the hands up, forward fold, exhale. Lengthen, we'll move on back to downward facing dog. Settle here, 5 breaths. If you need a child's pose, please take it. If you're in dog, are your feet looking like they're parallel? Can you pull your toes off your mat? And you want to feel like you're spinning those 2 jars in opposite directions underneath your hands so that you're wrapping your forearms towards each other. The child's pose or downward face, 2 more breaths. So nice to see you guys this morning. Nice. If I was in class with you, which I miss so much, I would be taking my hands underneath and wrapping them outside your thighs, lengthening your belly, lengthening your back, reminding yourself to keep your quads turned on. Let's all meet back in downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. And we'll begin again. We're going to float to plank, float that right leg up. This time just pulse it to the top of the shoulder. Just a few times. I always do 8. You can do 4. Take it back to that one leg plank. Grab the nose, round and curl. Lift and lengthen. Step the foot between the hands. Start with the inhale, dipping towards the mat. Exhale, long pyramid. Just one more of these. Inhale, here's your cow pose, belly first. Exhale, hollow. Come back to Anjane, reach the arms up. And then right away, take those arms out wide. Inhale to the right. Exhale, center. Inhale to the left. Exhale, center. Inhale, grab the interlace. Exhale, humble, supported. Inhale, untuck. Exhale, go deeper. Moving on from here, feel your left heel down and open up to warrior 2. All right, so that same thing we did before in Anjane. You're going to go ahead and spin to center. So here's like warrior 1. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. The exhale is warrior 2. So do that again. One more time. Keep your lower body in warrior 2. Now from this twist, we'll go exalted. So you can have your hands snuggle down the outside of your left thigh, or perhaps you just need to settle it at your sacrum. So it's a back bend of your choice. And from here, we're going to go reverse Trikonasana. So just straighten out the front leg, and then come to your first triangle pose. So reach the left hand out, maybe take a peek at it. In class, I say crazy things, right? So you guys have heard me say, like, you want to lengthen your whole waistline. So the bottom waist, the top waist, like you're using your grandmother's chopped liver machine, and you're just like extruding that out of the machine. So feel your length here. Whatever happened to that? Somebody in my family has that machine. Take your left arm long overhead, and then come back to long pyramid. So you may need to adjust your feet, left foot over. And then spin off this left foot. We're going to come on to easy twist. Circle this right arm, back and forth one time. And then stay here with the arm extended in Tika, or step to side plank. Now you know you can always go to gate pose. Right, so again, some days, even if we always do one thing, maybe it's nice to try the supported thing. We're going to make our way downward facing dog as you like. Breathe in. Breathe out. Shift to plank. Left leg floats. Hug that glute and then start to tap towards your left shoulder, your left tricep. Shift your weight over your fingertips. Right leg strong or on the mat. Take it back. Knee to nose. Lift. Step. Here's your inhale. Towards cow pose, hover that right knee. Exhale, stretch. Just one more time. Inhale and exhale. Okay, inhale to Anjane. Reach those arms up. Exhale, arms out. Inhale, spin to the left. So keep your lower body stable. Hugging to the midline, especially this left knee. One more time. Take your hands interlaced. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, straighten out right. Exhale, fold more. Peel the right heel down. Open up to warrior two. Settle here. So make sure your feet are scrubbing away from each other. Left knee is tracking over that baby toe. Take your inhale, spin towards warrior one position. Exhale, twist. So you're not going to get very far. Inhale, center. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. Again, I'm just saying those words. You do you. On this next twist, we'll create exalted of some kind. Again, if you can't snuggle your hand outside the thigh without sticking your tushy out, and just take it to the sacrum. Feel, the arch of your right foot lifting. Come all the way to reverse triangle. Big breath. And then slow motion, Trikonasana. Adjust your feet closer if you need to. Narrow your stance. And then again, lengthen not just the obvious side, but the subtle side. Your left side rib cage also lengthening forward. Take that right arm long overhead. Land back in long pyramid. Start to pivot off your right foot to create easy twist. Left knee over left ankle. Don't compromise here. Set this up first. Scrub that palm forward on the bottom hand as you circle this left arm. And then extend and stay, or stack your feet or go to gate pose. Smile on the face helps, usually in all situations. We meet in downward facing dog. And we're going to crawl our hands back to the mat. You're going to keep your feet looking like a number 11. So we were wide, then we were narrow. Now we're parallel. Same thing, grab those bracelets. Grab your upper arms and your forearms to your outer legs. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale. You can even start to wrap your forearms behind your calves. Come through half chair. Keep your legs here. Come to chair. Towards the back of the mat, we're in Utkatasana. Make sure your belly's lifting. You can bounce a little bit if you need to. First time in this chair. The knees track forward over your toes. So again, we're parallel. Don't look like a chicken. Exhale, artist from the arms back. Lift the heels up. Take the hands down towards your mat and then forward. Lower the heels, hands back. Lift the heels, hands down. Reach them forward. One more time. Heels down, hands back. Heels lift, hands down. Hands forward, stay. Hands to the heart or down to the mat for crow pose. So if you're taking crow, your knees come to the upper triceps like they are a shell. And then you want to feel your upper arms, your belly, your inner thighs, like you're hugging a big, hard basketball. In between your chest, your arms, your belly, your legs. Settle with big toes touching and come to Utkatasana again. All right. You're going to take the hands back. So you're going to lift the left knee up to crane. You're going to extend, and we're just going to pause for 8. Hug those hips towards each other. Ears, shoulders, hips in one plane. Bend the knee in. Take it to warrior 3, the back of your space. Arms out wide. Stay in 3. Grab the arms down towards each other, and then back out like 2 wings. 2 more times. You can always have your right knee bent. Feel your back. Feel that left glute. Come through one leg chair, pause, arms to goalpost, put the left foot down, wrap the right for eagle. So you can use a kickstand, you can't wrap it, right arm under, fold on down. Okay, come on back to chair pose. Take that Arda. Lift the heels. This time take the knees out wide as the hands come down. Keep them wide. Heels down, arms back. Heels lift, knees wide, hands down, hands forward. Last time, close it. Open it. And again, stay here, pulsing, or second time, Bakasana, crow pose. So again, everything is totally your call, totally up to you. Do not predict or expect that you can do the same thing you did even just 5 minutes ago, right? Nice, guys. Toward the back of the mat, take your time. Make your way back to chair pose. Big toes are touching. Exhale, Ardha. Right knee up to crane. Extend and pulse. 7, 6. Soften those shoulders. Stare at one point. Bend in through one leg chair. Come out to airplane arms with your warrior 3. Stay in your core. Hands down. Touch the palms. Lift the arms out. So this is your breath. If you're with me on the playlist, you can also match the beat. One more time. All right, come through one leg chair. Arms up. Lower the right foot. Left leg over for eagle. Left arm under. Stay upright. Put your left foot down if it doesn't wrap. Come back to Uka. Close your eyes. Sink those hips. Lift the heart. Lift the toes. Stand firmly on your own 2 beautiful legs. Recall your intention for reverse Surya Namaskar. Inhale. Shift the weight to the toes. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Right hand crawl down. Take an inhale here. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. Big breath in your back bend. Use your core. Now we have an inhale. The exhale, the right hand crawls back. Sink into your feet. Reach up. Slowly descend down. Inhale. Left hand is the leader. Back and forth this side. So again, you can knees, chest, chin this one. You can come from the ground to make your way to dog. Your exhale, let your left hand crawl back. So it's not faster just because we're not staying in our dog. You're still breathing with the pace of your breath. So the right hand comes on out. Keep exhaling or pause, then exhale. Your exhale, the right hand crawls back. And it doesn't have to be fast just because we're doing everything with one breath. So we slow the final one way down. Left hand leads. And then they made in downward facing dog. All right. So from here, we're going to hold for 5 and reset. Go back to child's pose. For some of you have headstand practice. So if you're doing supported headstand, you wrap your forearms like Pinch Mayurasana, and you don't actually have your head touching in that. So headstand's kind of a misnomer. We're not actually on our head at all. So take about 4 more breaths, the poses of your choice. And remember, everything is your choice. So whatever the level is of this class, this is the time you've got to show up. So you can go for more, you can take away anything, and really make it yours. You can always shoot me a chat or an email if you didn't understand something. I love hearing from people. We're all going to meet in child's pose. If you're upside down, beautiful, Jennifer, hike your legs, try to land with those big toes, hands down by your sides, and then take your palms like a little diamond shape around your sacrum. Let the elbows straight down towards your mat, and then keep your hands on your back, and then just take the elbows away from your mat. So you're in child's pose. I just wanted to show you where the hands are. So we're just letting our shoulders have a little bit of love here, just opening up and then draping them down, just like dog ears, like a basset hound, and then, a French bulldog. So basset hound, floppy ears, and then keep your happy ears up. Start to take your hands interlaced, stand on your shins. Keep those hands interlaced. We're going to step the right foot forward. Right? We just did this, and we're just going to reach the arms up. This time we're going to take the hands back and come to leaning lunge, and then open up warrior two, and now here stay reverse warrior. So anything goes. You want to bend your top arm and reach for a tricep stretch, or just extend. Sometimes it's nice to wrap like a seatbelt your arm in front of you. I know a lot of us like to do the reverse side, so play, right? Make sure that your body is in shape, in alignment though. We're obviously in shape. Move your right knee over to the right. And we're going to hold supported side angle, right? So if you're kind of newer to my classes, I say things like don't shrump. So it's a cross between a dump and a shrug. So you want this shoulder blade down, the back collarbones wide. And now you breathe. Option from here to float your right arm. Okay, unsupported or not, we're going to come to reverse triangle. So this is unsupported, this is supported. And we're going to come back to unsupported or supported in the front. So two more. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale. So you want to feel like you're leaning back against a wall. We're going to meet in this unsupported, and then we're going to fly into half moon pose. You can do that still with your hand floating, right? Ardha Chandrasana 2. The hand is under the shoulder. You need a block that's also under the shoulder. Back to warrior two, floated. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, tap and reach. Just flow with your breath 3 more times. Back and forth. Keep those lower legs happy. One more time. Second time, half moon. Fly and go. Maybe now you want to bend and reach for this top foot. Get a nice quad stretch. Make sure your navel is engaged up towards your heart. Back to warrior two. It's time for reverse triangle. Triangle flow. Take your time here, back and forth. Soft bend in your front knee. Lift up through those quads, press down through the feet. One more time. Stay in triangle, or third time, half moon pose. So staying forward this time. Put a soft bend in your right knee to come to standing split. You can keep your left leg as it is, where it is. You can square the hips to warrior three. You can even go ahead and make that bracelet. Wrap your forearm behind the calf, perhaps both. If you have a handstand in practice, take your handstand. Since it's really hard to balance on a carpet, we're going to come into crouching curl. The left knee comes behind the right calf, and then we're coming back to runner's lunge to find a quad stretch here. So you might have just had a quad stretch on this left leg if you took chakrasana. Start with your hand under the shoulder and just reach your right arm back. Sometimes it's nice to take your right hand inside the thigh and then just pick up the left leg. If you can reach for it, reach for it. If you like to come down to the forearm, again, avoid that shrumping action. So everything, the shoulder blades are squeezing together down the back. Sometimes for my back, I like to stay upright. Believe it or not, I'm over 30. So that's what I do for myself. All right, we're coming to runner's lunge, one leg plank. And now here's our cross to the other side. So tap that knee up to the left shoulder. Did you think I was going to forget the third side? And then we're going to meet and fall in triangle. So you can keep this right foot down, or you can float it. If you float it, you're using your adductors, your inner thighs. So it's just a thing. It's not a necessary thing, but it's something to try. We're meeting in down dog. You can float get there, with it lifted. Breathe in, settle here. Breathe out. About 2 more. Close your eyes. All right, you started this one on the shins. So let's use this opportunity while we're on the shins to take a little camel pose here. So I'm just going to face you. Now, if you've got a tweaky back and a block or a cushion at home, squeeze it between your thighs. Okay, so the fingertips, they can be up or down. What you don't want is to press on your lumbar spine. You want to walk your hands to the bony part, the sacrum. So whether your heels are on your sacrum or your fingertips are on your sacrum. Again, we're not going to flop the elbows this way like basset hounds. We're still French bulldogs, right? So grab those elbows towards each other. And then there's a gentle press forward, right? Toes can tug or not, right? But you have your body, even at home, you can go to a wall. And in class, sometimes you do this where you push your hips to the wall with your thighs, and that keeps you in alignment. So the back bend is really from your upper back. You've got a gentle pressure on your hands. If you've got space and desire to grab a full Lstheflash, go for it. A couple more breaths here. Yes, you can take your head back, but we're not hip hop dancers, so you float it back. And then go ahead and stand on those shins, take your hands to interlace, and just step your left foot forward. That's where we started. And then start to lean your lunge. And then open up to warrior 2. And then hold, reverse. So here's where we might have played with arm variations. Just even out whatever side you did. Make sure your left knee is tracking to that baby toe. Your left toes are light, your right arch is lifted. And then supported side angle, hold that without dumping. So here I'm scrubbing my ankles and heels energetically towards each other. So it's turning on my right glute, it's turning on my left glute. So that's a good way to get out of your joints. Use your legs, float if you did. And then we're going to go unsupported or supported, reverse triangle, back to side angle. So we have 3 more. And you can go support your way or not. And then from here, we're going to go first time half moon pose. So fly and float. Light touch with the left hand if it's on the ground at all. Slow motion back to 2. And then here's where we dance. Inhale, tap and reach, exhale. So pace of your breath 3 more times. Make sure that left knee is behaving itself. It stays open. Dig down to that left heel. And then from here we go second time half moon. And maybe this time you grabbed that quad stretch. You can still float your left hand. Make sure your left foot looks like a number 1 and not a comma. Slowly descend back to warrior 2. And then we're doing our tick-tock reverse triangle. So you might need and want to keep a soft bend in your front leg. Your top hip is hugging. Your bottom hip is the lever, hinging. Again, pace of your breath. And then third time, we're going to go to Ardha Chandrasana 2, any variation. Okay. We're staying forward for this one. So just taking a couple more breaths here. Notice if you're gripping with your teeth or your jaw. Soft bend in the left. Make your standing split shape. It can be open, it can be closed. Handstand hoppers. Go for what you want to, but be with your breath. And also a lot of humor and forgiveness. Balance is tricky. It's not the same thing every day or even from side to side. We meet in a crouching curl to create a runner's lunge. And then come on back to a quad stretch press. So right hand under the shoulder. Take this left hand back. And maybe you reach for the foot or you just stay with the hand inside the thigh. Anything goes here. Make sure your heart is open and aiming to like the top corner of your space. Lower that leg. Come to one leg plank, left leg, and then 8 little tiny pulses if you can towards this right tricep, the armpit, the shoulder. Feel your left side oblique. And then we build fallen triangle where you're going to float your leg. Now your left hand is under your shoulder. Your blades are squeezing towards each other. We meet in downward facing dog. Big breath, big flow. And then final time, forearm plank. So I always put my knees down, or I usually do, measure. So you want to feel your fingertips wrap around the base of your arms, right? So not just your forearms. Wrap them around. That's your measure for your forearm plank. We just have 1 minute here. If you have pinch my Lstheflash, or you want to go back upside down, or you want to go to dolphin, go for it. I'm just checking my time. Perfect. All right. So dome your upper back. When you do that, you're engaging your serratus muscle. This guy here, that's what you use for crow pose. That's what you use for headstands. Breathing the whole time. All right. Slow motion. Make your way down to Sphinx pose. Forearms to your mat, throat exposed. All right. So first start slacking out your knees and see what that does for your low back. And then straighten out the legs. Lift your knees off the ground. So for me, that feels better here. Take your gaze to the right, chin down. Gaze to the left, chin down. Take your hands down. We have 2 more standing poses to do. We're going to take the right leg, just step it forward, peel your left heel down, and come to bent knee triangle. So we're building a deeper side angle pose. If you need a block under your hand, take it. Start Utthita extended. Stay here. If you want to hold some sort of bind, you might find that you've got some space. You can come back to supported. You can do a fake bind with your hands simply interlaced behind you, or just stay here. So maybe you're looking down and you forget that this is also a heart opener. So try to spin the gaze up. Sometimes it's helpful to take the hand just down behind you just a little bit to encourage this heart spinning open. And lighten your toes. Move your breath around the shin. And then straighten out. Shift the hand behind the foot if you can. Extended triangle. And then take yourself down for pyramid pose. Move the back foot up and in. I've been loving left hand forward. My upper right forearm is engaged out to my upper outside right thigh. That's kind of my theme today. All right. We're just going to step to down dog. If you want to go there, jump, switch kind of thing, whatever you want to do, go there. Meet in dog. Maybe through a flow or not. You're going to step your right foot forward, your left foot forward, sorry. Peel your right heel down. Now you can see some bent knee triangle. Your hand disappears next to your foot. Your forearm disappears into your shin. So if you're looking at me now, you hopefully can't see my hand or my forearm. Now, to do that without sticking your butt out, you might need to put your hand on a block. So we're going to stay here a good long while. Perhaps you want to explore binding. So again, sometimes to even get an interlace, we have to look down or bend down. But the key is to get back. Right? So if you're in a place where you're stuck in the down, move to the open. Even if it's just moving this right hand back behind you to encourage the shoulder up to your sky, or just stay extended. So it's an internal rotation, maybe down. From the ground, we just peel up to extended triangle. I just moved my hand outside my foot. If you have a block at home, maybe move your block outside your foot. And don't forget to breathe. And then turn down now to pyramid. So the right foot's going to come up and over. Each foot has its own lane. If you're with me, upper arm to outer upper thigh. Both quads lifted. Both arches lifted. Okay, we're going to stay on this left foot. And we're going to make our way to pigeon. So come to runners. Snuggle the left foot over. So we're starting with the left side for a reason, which shall be revealed. So go ahead and come on down. You want to come back to where we started. Pillow with your palms, forehead on your hands. Go for that. If you're super flexible, I know Dana's with us this morning, and lots of us are flexible. Hug your thighs towards each other. And at home, you can take your outer left upper forearm to the outer left thigh, and then your right forearm to the sole of your right foot, and hug your arms towards each other. You can only really do this if your shin's working towards parallel, but your fleshy forearm matches your sole of your foot. Your outer left arm is hugging, so you're doing this action. For me, that feels amazing. You can also do this if your head isn't down. You can put a block under your head and still do this hugging thing. You can let me know later how it feels. We're going to come up and create seated twist. Right knee up. That's why we started with our left knee. So take your hands, snuggle that shin in, take the crook of your thumb to your right hip crease and move it down to your ground. So if you are super unable to get your hips down, sit on a block and then take your twist with the arm hooked or elbow outside the thigh. So again, we're not shrugging or dumping. The collarbones are wide. And you're simply going to unwind. Your right knee is up and then slide the left leg back for pigeon. So go ahead where you did on the first side. You can start long, and if you liked what I did and offered, it's a hug. So you can see now on this side, my inner left forearm is pressing into my foot, and my foot's touching my forearm, and I'm hugging my upper right arm outside my right thigh. Now breathe here. Kind of lengthen your ribcage beyond your shin. You're slowly going to make your way up, and you're going to wrap your left leg over. And again, take the crook of that thumb to the crease of your left hip and press it down as you move your right foot. That should be flat too, right? So again, sometimes we have to round to get a grab of something, but then we want to return to this open-hearted idea. So sometimes I just keep my arm wrapped, sometimes I don't. You're slowly going to unwind, and you're going to roll down one vertebra at a time, feet are parallel to bridge pose. Palms open or down, heels under your knees. So for me, I don't touch my fingertips to my heels. I walk my feet down. That gives my space, my back more space, and my ability to use my quads more. From there, if you want to walk your feet in, that's great. Just play with what you need to play with, and use your quads more than your glutes. And then feel that beautiful bend across your heart, your collarbones. You're still using your core here. And then let's do this together slowly. Take a nice big inhale. Visualize the vertebrae right behind your heart, at the area between your shoulder blades, the top of your spine. Start to press them down first and really articulate one at a time down. Once your tailbone finds your mat, create a lumbar curve bend. So we're nutating the pelvis up, and then we're going to nutate the pelvis back down to tuck round and curl up. And then we're going to do that 2 more times. Exhale, roll down. Once your tailbone finds your mat, create that lumbar curve, but stay in your core. Don't let it flop. and then reverse that. So if your back is ever tweaky or feels icky, this is a really good thing to do, and actually do it even slower, like take 8 breaths. But we're going to end up in our second back bend from the ground. If you want full wheel, go there. If you want to take your hands underneath you, interlace or not. Again, scrub your heels down your mat, turn on your legs, turn off your face. One vertebra at a time, roll down. One time, create that little curve in your back. Reverse that, lift right on back up. And then bring your feet together, big toes to touch, and extend your left leg, knee to knee. And then extend your right leg, knee to knee. Stay with your glutes. Bend down, roll down. Hug your knees in. And then come to happy baby. So we started here with our hands in those bracelets, wrapping the forearms outside the calves. Or now go bigger, hands to toes. And we can expand to one of both sides into a straddle. So here we still have a natural curve in our lumbar spine. The tailbone is rooted. Don't let it come off your mat. Draw your knees into a pile, take your hands out to the side, take an inhale, let them barely touch to the right. Coming right back up to center. And then barely touch to the left. You can start to let your gaze go in opposite directions. One more time, floating twist to the right. One more time, floating twist to the left. And you can keep this going if you want more core, or let your legs float all the way down and stay and twist to the right. And again, this right hand can help the twist to the thigh, or encourage a little anchoring to your left shoulder. We're just going to leave it alone. You're going back and forth, continue. You're with me, float those knees and then let them land softly and slowly to the left. If you like, legs up the wall at home, start to make your way there. You can put your back on a brick in the middle of the room and just take your legs up an imaginary wall, or come into Shavasana, legs down, palms open, face soft. So just breathe and scan your body. Let everything go. And once you get to your Shavasana, notice where you are. Take your right leg longer down your back. Feel space at your right hip joint. Maybe anything on the left. And then take your right shoulder down away from your ear. Same thing on the left. Now, Shavasana. It's a pose like any other. Sometimes it's hard to stay with it. Notice if your thoughts are trying to take over, let them go. Just scan your body for tension, right? That's the purpose of this pose, is to do nothing at all, or let it be an exploration of where else you can release anything that might be lingering. Just looking for my float here. And then perhaps you would like to still take your right leg longer down your mat, left leg longer down your mat. At this time of year with Halloween coming and pumpkin stuff and apple picking stuff, I found this quote. It says, "We are each other's harvest. We are each other's business. We are each other's magnitude and bond." Right? So whether you physically harvest things from the earth or harvest friends and relationships, we recognize we are each other's harvest. As you start to reawaken, reaching your arms over your head, we are also each other's business. And as we take care of each other, keeping ourselves safe, we are each other's business. We are each other's harvest, our bounty. We are bound with magnitude together. So
when you come to your seat or if you're staying in Shavasana, stay. You're with me, hands to heart in Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. The light within me really, truly acknowledges and sees as I can on Zoom or in person the light in each and every one of you. Thank you for practicing with me now or having this video later. It's a wonderful day. Om Shanti, Om Peace, Namaste. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you for helping me with my sound problems this morning, and I hope that you could hear me okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to end this, and I got to scoot. As much as I want to communicate with you, I have to go sub a class. So you take your time. Thanks for sticking with me, and I hope that you feel good. All right, bye, guys.